Hello everyone, welcome back to Unikaksha's YouTube channel. This is Ashwini from Unikaksha. Friends, today I'm going to discuss with you about a very common thing, but still most important. That is, I'm going to discuss with you about what are the things which you have to remember while writing the programs and what are the mistakes which you should not repeat while writing and executing the programs. When we are going to write the programs, then many times we stuck up with some kind of common errors, and still it takes lots of time to find out what exactly is the error and to remove such kind of errors. So here I'm going to explain you about the Java do's and don'ts which you have to remember while writing the programs. Let's move on to the today's agenda. Today, I'm going to discuss with you about two main points. First, that is the entire structure of a Java source file. And second, we will be discussing with Java main method, the writing conventions of Java main method and how it can be written, what kind of things which we have to avoid. All these things we are going to learn here. So along with the examples, I'm going to explain you about all these things. So let's get started with the first point, that is Java source file structure. Friends, Java is considered as a statically written language. So here you have to follow some kind of syntaxes while writing the programs. So you have to follow the rules and regulations while you are going to design the programs. Though Java is going to provide you lots of features, lots of facilities, and that's why it is considered as a most popular and widely used programming language. But here we also have to take care about the syntaxes, as well as you have to write the programs in a proper sequence. Let's start with the Java source file structure. Java source file is nothing but it is considered as a text file which holds Java source code, and it can be saved with .java extension. So the file which is having .java extension is considered as a Java source file. Whenever we are going to write Java code, then at that time, uh, there are number of classes which you can include in a single Java file. There are no such kind of restrictions to include the number of classes in single program. So as much as you can enter the number of classes according to the requirement. But whenever we are including the classes, then here is a twist. That is, when there are number of classes in your Java code, then you have to take care about the public class. That is, if there is no public class written in your Java code, then the name given to the Java program can be anything. Like if I'm going to include 5 classes in one program, then I can include that. But if all these classes are not public classes, then any name you can give to your program. But if there is a public class available in your program, then at that time, name of the Java program must be the name of that public class. This is the first rule which you have to remember. So two things you have to remember here. That is the very first thing, that is whenever you are going to write Java program, then n number of classes you can include in a single Java program. But if the classes are not public, or if there is no public class available in the entire program, then name of the Java program can be anything. Like for example, I can save that program by using the name that is unikaksha.java. So this is fine. But sorry, so this is fine. But whenever you are going to include the public class in your Java program, then at that time, name of that public class must be included in your Java code. This is the rule. So if there is no public class, then you can give any name. But if there is a public class available in your Java code, then you must have to give name of that public class. Always remember this thing. Now, The next rule which you have to remember is how many public classes you can include in a single Java program. So again, there is a rule. So at most one public class you can include in a single Java program. It means at most means what? Either 0 or 1. So if there are no public classes in Java code, then also it is okay. But if you are including public class, then maximum one class can be a public class in a single program. If you are trying to make multiple classes as public, then you will get the compile time error. So I will show you these things along with the example. Let's move to the example to the editor, and I'll show you the program structure and these naming conventions as well as along with the keyword public. Now let's see. Now let's see about the first example, that is your rule which is associated with the public keyword. So if you are writing a simple program and you are not going to give any public class there, so here simply I have entered number of classes in my program. So I have entered how many classes? Class 1, class 2, class 3 and class 4. So these are the 4 classes which are included in my Java program. Now here there is no public class included and no main methods are included. Now we will focus on the first rule, that is if there is no main method available and if there is no public class is available, then what name should be given to your Java program? So if there is no public class available in your program, then you can give any name of your choice according to your requirement. So here the name of my classes are 1, 2, 3 and 4, but the name given to the program is main1.java. Now let's see whether it can be compiled. So here I'm going to compile this by using javac compiler. So javac, and then I'll give you name of my file.java. So it will definitely compile, because if there is no public class written in your program, then you can give any name to your program. Now it will compile because no main method is written here. It will compile though no main method is available here. But when you try to execute it, then it will create an error. So let's try to execute the same thing, and then I will explain you why it will create an error. So now at the time of execution, it is going to create an error because whenever we are using JVM or whenever we are executing Java file, then JVM is going to search for the main method, because for JVM, main method is considered as a starting point. So here it is going to search for the main method, and which is not available in our program. So that's why it will not be executed. But at the time of compilation, it is not going to check about the main method. So it has been successfully compiled, but it is not going to be executed. So rule number 1, which you have to remember always, that is if there is no public class available in your program, then you can give any name to your program with .java extension. So that we have seen. Now let's move to the next program. Now here I have written the second program. In that, again, same classes I have included, and one class is a public class. Now no class definition I have written here, just I have included some empty classes, and I have made one class as a public class. So one is a public class. Now let's see, and here I have given name of that class as a 1. So if I try to execute this, then at that time it will definitely compile because the name is given, that is 1. So what I'll do is I'll write javac1.java. So it will be compiled. It will not be executed because main method is not there. So whenever you are including the public class in your program, the name of that public class must be name of the program. If you are not doing so, then what happens? I will show you here. So for example, this class 1 I'm going to make as a public, and the name of program is main1. So let's try to compile this. So now it is giving you the error, that is 1 is considered as a public class and it should be declared in a file named 1.java. So this kind of errors you will get. In the similar way, if you try to make multiple public classes in one program, then also it will generate the error. Let's see. So it will give you the errors. That is, when the public class is available in your program, then definitely you have to give name of that public class to the program, and more than one classes you cannot include. So minimum one class you have to include here. So this is the rule which you have to follow while writing the Java programs. Now we will move to the next point, that is, whenever you are going to write the main methods, then at that time how it can be written and how the program can be executed. So we will go back to our ppts. First we will understand what is the structure of this main method, and then we will come back to the examples. So let's first discuss about the main method. So Java main method is considered as an entry point of execution for the JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. So main method, as I told you, it is considered as an entry point of any Java program. So JVM, when it is going to execute the Java program, then it is first going to search for the main method. So if main method found in your program, then only it can be executed. Otherwise, it will give you the error which just we have seen, that is compiler error, no main method found. Then whenever we are considering the main method, then its syntax is public static void main string arguments, and you must have to follow this syntax. Now many students, many programmers ask the question like whether we can change the name of main method. That is, instead of public static void main, for example, can we write public static void unikaksha? So yes, you can definitely make changes into this name, but you must have to make these changes into your JVM file as well, because the registered syntax of main method is just like this, which is mentioned here in your JVM. So JVM will always search for this similar syntax. So that's why you have to make changes into that. Now here it is the syntax and description about your main method. So public, it is a access specifier. Your main method is always public. Why, that I will tell you later. Then static is a keyword. Void is nothing but it is a return type. It means that your main method is not returning anything to the program. Main is the name of method, and then string argument. So args is the array of string type. Now let's have a look on each and every keyword which we are going to write with the main method. So the very first keyword is public keyword. Here public is considered as an access specifier. So we are always going to use the keyword public before main method, because it should be invoked by JVM from anywhere. So that is nothing but if you are writing private before main, then or protected or default before main method, then it will not be visible for the JVM. So that's why it must be public. I will show you what kind of error it will give by making the main method as a private method. So I'll show you along with the example. Then the second keyword is considered as a static. So static method is nothing but a method which can be invoked without creating an object. So the keyword static is used for creating the method static or variable static, and we should always call the main method without creating an object. So that's why the main method is considered as a static method. Next is void. Void is considered as a return type of method. So here your main method is not going to return anything to your program. So that's why it is considered as a void method. Then next is a main. So main is considered as a default signature, which is already defined in your JVM file. So if you want to make changes into this name, then you must have to make changes into the JVM. So whenever you are going to execute the program, then JVM is going to search for the main method in the given syntax only. And then only if it is found there, then only the program will be executed further. Then next, that is string arguments. So the string arguments are nothing but args is a arrays. So it is going to accept a group of strings. So main method is also going to accept some kind of data from user. So which is considered as a string array. If you want to give some kind of command line arguments, then we are going to use this. Now let's move to the example and let's understand all these rules which we have studied just now. Okay, so we are back to editor now. Now we will understand about the structure of main methods. So if you are trying to create a main method as a private method, then it will generate some kind of errors because JVM will not find out the main method in the given syntax, and then at the time of execution, it will generate the error. Now, many students ask me the question, that is how many main methods you can write in your single Java program. So any number of main methods you can include as any number of classes we are including in the single Java program. So here in front of you, the program is written, name of the program is demo1.java. And in this program, I have included three classes, class 1, class 2, and class 3. So class 1 is having its own main method, class 2 is having its own main method, and class 3 is also having its own main method. Now class 1 is going to print, hello students, class 2 is going to print, how are you all, and class 3 is going to print, let's get started. But when we are going to save this, then here name is given, that is demo1.java. So whether it is possible? Yes, definitely, because no class we made as a public class. So it will execute it like this. So now what I'll do is I'll just try to compile this. So I have written demo1.java and it has been successfully compiled. No error has been given. But now the twist is here. That is, when we are going to execute this, then it will give me the error. So it is giving me the error, that is no main method found. It is because we have written main methods in the classes, that is 1, 2, and 3. So, and if we have given the different name for your program, then what you have to do is at the time of execution, you have to run by using the class name. So I'll write Java 1, it has been printed. So if I want to run Java 2 class, so it has been printed. If I want to run Java 3, so it has been printed. It is because when we are going to open this bin directory, then it is going to create the class file for 1, for 2, and for 3. You can see here it is 2 dot class and it is 3 dot class, but it is not going to create any file for demo dot class. So that's why it is going to generate such kind of errors. Now always remember this, that whenever you are going to write the multiple classes in your program and multiple main methods in your program, then while compilation, it is okay, it can be compiled with any class name, but while execution, you must have to give that class name. So remember this rule very clearly. So friends, this was all about the do's and don'ts which you have to remember while writing the Java program. Friends, at Unikaksha, we always try to explain you the information along with the programs whenever it is possible. So here, I have tried to explain you about the do's and don'ts of Java program, which you have to remember while writing. along with the example. I hope you understood all these things very clearly. For such more videos to watch, please stay tuned with us and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, that is Unikaksha. So stay tuned with us at Unikaksha. Till then, thank you so much.